Okay, let's take a look at a second scenario. Let's take a look at maintaining my 1.6% slope and allowing the where it meets our existing pavement, wherever that critical point is, allowing that to define our vertical alignment location. So to do that, I'm going to create another corridor, and I'll name it COPS 185 overlay 2. And I'll use the same station constraints and add that. And then for that corridor, again, I'll use 12.5 feet as my interval, and I'll use the same template. Go back to overlay mode. And in this case, I don't need to do any cross slope optimization. I'm going to use the cross slopes defined in my template. So I'm going to skip that step, and I'll go to my vertical adjustment settings. And my backbone thickness is 0.25. My overlay value, I'm going to use a minimum overlay value of 0. Again, left saw cut to right saw cut is my critical range for my template points. So I'll go ahead and OK that. And as I move forward one station, you can see that's applied. And let's take a look at what we've got. So on my left saw cut point, that's one of my critical points, and the right saw cut would be the other one, and it's found meeting a 0 minimum thickness value here. So that's kind of my control for this section. Keeping my slopes, that defines my elevation for my PGL. So as I scroll through the sections, you can see where the critical point is and how that impacts the profile that's generated. And at some point, the critical point is going to be on the right. There we go. So over here, now this is the critical point where I hit my 0 thickness. And working back at my 1.6% slope, that's defined my PGL. And there's a couple stations where there's a little hump in the pavement, so somewhere in the center, there we go. So the center here is my critical point with a 0 depth of cover. Now, as I'm looking at that, I can look at those component quantities. And let's go ahead to the end. And I've got approximately the same costs here, because the only thing that's really different is my leveling course. So I've got approximately, I've got $31,600 here. Let's close that and let's make a change and see how that impacts the project. Well, let's say, I wanted some clearance here. Let's give it an inch thickness instead of 0 thickness. So if I go back to my vertical adjustment settings and 0.083, OK that. Go back to my first section, and you can see from my critical point now I've got an inch as my minimum thickness for my leveling course. Well, back under those component quantities, I can scroll through and see how that impacts my cost estimate. Let me just go to the last section, and something's not quite right here because that should be more cost. So I think I might have needed to do a process all. Let's try that again. It's process all. There we go. And now let's look at our component quantities. Okay, so there, that makes a little more sense. I've got a $37,000 value here. Now that I've adjusted that leveling course to have a different minimum thickness. Okay, so I have a profile defined now based off my vertical adjustment settings, and I need to step through the smooth process here, and I'm going to name this same thing, overlay 2 though. And you can see it's generated my profile there for that, and I'll apply that. Again, I have to pick a feature for it. And now that it's been applied, I can go back to the normal mode and take a look at this. Step through my sections. Oops, go back to the beginning. So that's really all I wanted to show you at this point, and that's pretty much my knowledge of the overlay tools at this point. There's more parameters there that I haven't had a chance to investigate and learn everything yet, so we're still looking into some of that. But since these templates are added to the template library and we're going to go ahead and push those out with our DRRC revision in a couple weeks, I thought I'd just spend a little bit of time and document how those templates work. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And I'll use my PIN number. rowaydesigner.ird, and close out. And I just want to show you here under Tools, there's Export Profile to GPK. So here's where I can select the profiles that were created in Roway Designer, export those to my GPK file, and then I can manipulate those to make any changes, and then re-import those to update those in the ALG file. So that'd be how you would export those. If you have any questions or any problems using the ODOT templates, you're welcome to contact us in the Division of Engineering. We'll be glad to give you a hand. Hopefully this video was some help, and thanks for watching and have a great day.